Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Ian, and today we're tackling a cornerstone of what makes Canada unique, our Medicare system. We'll explore its origins, the battles to get it started, how it rolled out economically in the early 1960s, and even how health security has influenced housing markets over the years. Plus, we'll look at how it's funded today and the heated debates happening right now in 2025. Let's jump in. First off, what inspired the Medicare system? It all traces back to one man, Tommy Douglas, often called the father of Canadian healthcare. Douglas was a Baptist minister turned politician from Saskatchewan, and his drive came from a personal hardship. As a kid in Scotland, he nearly lost his leg to a bone infection because his family couldn't afford the surgery. A doctor stepped in pro bono, but that experience stuck with him. He saw healthcare as a basic right, not a privilege for those who could pay. Influenced by the social gospel movement, which tied Christian values to social justice, Douglas believed that society should care for the vulnerable, like the Good Samaritan parables. He was also shaped by the Great Depression, where he witnessed families ruined by medical bills. As leader of the Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, which later became the NDP, Douglas pushed for universal coverage to prevent illness from bankrupting people. It was about equity, ensuring everyone, rich or poor, urban or rural, could access care without fear of financial ruin. Now, who supported this idea and who fought it? On the pro side, Douglas had backing from labor unions, farmers, cooperatives, and progressive groups who saw it as a step towards a fairer society. The public largely got on board, especially in Saskatchewan, where people were tired of the patchy private insurance that left many out in the cold. Federally, Liberal Prime Minister Lester Pearson eventually championed it, seeing it as a way to unify the country. But opposition was fierce. Doctors, through groups like the Canadian Medical Association, worried about losing autonomy and income under government control. They feared becoming civil servants. Private insurance companies saw it as a threat to their business. And conservative politicians, including some in the Progressive Conservative Party, argued it was too costly and smelled of socialism. Business lobbies joined in, claiming it would hike taxes and hurt the economy. In Saskatchewan, this boiled over into a 23-day doctors' strike in 1962, with some physicians even fleeing the province. Keep Our Doctors committees popped up, backed by media, painting the plan as a government takeover. But Douglas held firm, and compromises like fee-for-service payments for doctors helped end the standoff. That brings us to the economic rollout in 1962. It started provincially in Saskatchewan under Douglas's government. After introducing hospital insurance in 1947, they expanded to full medical care coverage in 1962 with the Medical Care Insurance Act. This was taxpayer-funded, single-payer insurance for all residents, covering doctor visits and procedures. Economically, it was a bold move. During a time of post-war growth, Canada's GDP was climbing and provinces had more revenue for resources booms and federal transfers. But the strike disrupted services, costing the economy and lost productivity and forcing emergency imports of doctors from Britain. That said, once resolved, it proved viable. Costs were controlled through negotiations with doctors, and it boosted public health by encouraging preventative care. Federally, this success inspired the 1966 Medical Care Act under Pearson, sharing costs 50-50 with provinces that met criteria like universality and portability. By 1972, all provinces were in, creating the national patchwork we know as Medicare. It shifted health care from a private market to a public good, stabilizing household finances by eliminating surprise bills. This is actually pretty fascinating from a real estate perspective. Before Medicare, medical costs could devastate families. Think bankruptcies from a single illness, forcing home sales or foreclosures. With universal coverage, that risk dropped, freeing up budgets for mortgages and home improvements. Studies have shown that stable health access correlates with better economic security, which supports homeownership rates. In the 1960s and the 70s, as Medicare started to roll out, Canada's housing market boomed, partly because families had more disposable income. No more dipping into savings for doctors' bills. Today, in provinces with strong coverage, lower out-of-pocket health expenses means more money for rent or down payments, though challenges like affordability crises persist. On the flip side, an aging population strains the system, indirectly pushing up taxes that could affect housing costs. But overall, health security has been a stabilizer, helping Canadians build wealth through property without the shadow of medical debt. Fast forwarding again to now, Medicare continues to be publicly funded, mainly through taxes. Provinces and territories handle delivery and cover about 78% of costs from their revenues. Think income taxes, sales taxes, and some premiums in places like BC. The federal government chips in via the Canada Health Transfer, about $52 billion this year, roughly 22% of provincial health spending. Total healthcare eats up around 12% of GDP, or over $300 billion annually. It's not free, we all pay through taxes, but it spreads the risk across society. Private insurance covers extras like drugs, dental, and vision, which make up about 30% of total spending. Despite all the success, there are still fierce debates about Medicare. On the pro side, advocates argue Medicare ensures equity. No one goes broke from illness, and it's a symbol of Canadian values like compassion and fairness. With an aging population, it's vital for access. Think the Canadian Health Act's principles of universality and accessibility. Recent polls show most Canadians want it to fix it, not scrap it, pushing for digital upgrades and team-based care to cut wait times. Groups like the Canadian Medical Association are calling for accountability, more federal funding, but critics point to long waits. Average 28 weeks for specialists in some provinces, doctor shortages, and overcrowded ERs. There's talk of allowing more private options to ease pressure, like in Ontario's expansion, arguing the system is unsustainable without reform. Some say it's rationing care, with people dying on waitlists or seeking treatment abroad. The debate heated up in the federal campaign, with parties silent on big changes, but hinting at privatization risks versus bolstering public funding. In wrapping up, Medicare's story is one of vision, conflict, and evolution. It's woven into our economic fabric, supporting stability that ripples into real estate and beyond. But as we face these challenges, it's clear we need bold fixes to keep it strong. What do you think? Should we open up to more private elements or double down on public investments? Drop your thoughts below. Like and subscribe for more on Canada's big picture, and thanks for watching. Stay healthy out there.